Let's move over to Aston Villa. We've spoken a lot about Aston Villa's needs for defensive reinforcements, Pete. But they have Diego Carlos there. Is it really necessary to make him leave and bring in a new center back when it feels like Diego Carlos probably could just...
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary. I think it's something that Unai Emery would like to do. He obviously wanted to do it in the summer. There was talk that Diego Carlos could have left Villa Park and potentially went to Fulham. That didn't happen. So he's remained at Villa Park. I think ideally Unai Emery wants his centre-back pairing to be Pau Torres and Ezri Konsa. If both of those players are fit, they would be the first two names on his team sheet. The bonus is that Tyrone Mings now is back fit after his long-term injury as well, so he increases the depth of those centre-back options as well. But Diego Carlos, he's made 11 appearances in all competitions. Only 4 of those are starts in the Premier League, so I think that tells its own story that he's not sort of relied upon by Unai Emery. So it'll be interesting to see if any offers do come in for Carlos in the January transfer window, whether Villa would be willing to accept him. But again, to replace Carlos, it isn't going to be cheap, and to try and land your top targets in January, we know, is a difficult process. So it might be something that Villa have to revisit in the summer, because Carlos at the end of this season will be entering the final year of his contract at Villa, so that will be probably their last chance to cash in on him, rather than risk allowing him to run down his contract.
And Paul, they're still looking to shore up that defensive side of midfield. Obviously, they did bring in some reinforcements after Douglas Luiz left, but Kenneth Taylor is someone they're trying to tempt to join. Could you see him making a move in January? Obviously, Villa in great shape in the Champions League and pushing to be back in the Champions League again next year.
Yeah, you look at the way that Taylor plays, the CDM, he's a very good defensive rock in that place, if you like. Listen, he's an Ajax player, come through the Ajax Academy, and he's a ball-playing CDM. He can break up the play. But he's quality. He's played for the Dutch national side at all levels, from like under 15 level all the way through. That in itself tells you what type of player he is. We know that he's comfortable on the ball. I think he's got the combative skills that are required to play in the Premier League, but he's also good, intelligent, and a clever footballer as well. I don't know his contract situation. Pete will probably know better than me. It's not one that I've looked at. I'm not so sure what type of price tag that he will command. But the recruitment at Villa has been good. The network, the sporting director, the manager, the unity between the football and staff side of things, they don't often get it wrong at Villa. So Kenneth Taylor is a player that I could see making a move to the Premier League. I'm working. He's a player that I like. He's a good footballer. And at 22, I think there's still a lot more to come from him. But as I say, his contract situation...
He's got just over 2 years left on his deal at Ajax. I don't think Ajax will be willing to let him go. And if you were to try and maybe tempt them to sell him, you're probably looking around the £30 million mark for a Dutch international. As you said, 22 with huge potential. I think that would be the going rate for him. But as it stands right now, Ajax run a good run of form. They're moving up the Dutch table, also in Europe as well. So I don't think they're entertaining to lose Taylor in the January transfer window. But that might change again in the summer transfer window if he continues to progress. And I'm sure it'll be more than just Aston Villa who will be looking at him.
And Pete, Aston Villa are also looking to bring in Oihan Sancet in January, another playmaker to potentially add to the ranks at Villa Park. How much money is even really available? Obviously, they seem to be really pushing to make at least 1 or 2 signings in January with that so many fixtures coming in, and it seems like they're getting into the next stage of the Champions League. Could they make a move?
Yeah, he's a good player, Sancet. There's no doubt about that. Having a very good season for Bilbao as well, and also he's a Spain international. Obviously, we know Villa's Spanish links. Unai Emery, being Spanish, obviously knows all about the players that are playing in La Liga, and also Monchi, the sporting director, has got so many strong connections in Spanish football as well, so they'll be well aware of Sancet, and I'm sure he's a player that is on their radar if they are looking to strengthen in their midfield options. The thing for Villa is that they're looking to build from a position of power right now, qualifying for the Champions League last season. They want to stay in those top 4 places. They want to be playing in the Champions League, attracting the best players, because if you drop out of those Champions League places, you end up losing your best players yourself, and then it's hard to try and sign replacements. But Villa are a club, I believe, going places. They've had a great start to life in the Champions League in this campaign as well. Look like they're going to qualify for the last 16 without any issues as well. But Sancet, he's got a big release clause in his contract, €80 million, something like that, at Bilbao. So I don't see a deal happening in January for him. I think it'll be too expensive. But if Villa are still looking to strengthen their attacking midfield options come the summer transfer window, I'm sure Sancet will be one of those names right at the top of their list.